Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I got this jumbo faux locks, how I achieved this look all by myself. So if you really like it and you want to see how I did it, please keep watching. So I just wanted to add a little disclaimer because these are faux locks, and faux locks are a hairstyle that when it's done properly can really help in length retention when your hair is growing. But if it's done the wrong way, it can just yank out your hair everywhere. Now I've had years of practice. I've practiced on myself, I've practiced on my friends, I've practiced on my sisters, and I've made a lot of mistakes. Like I've yanked out my hair. But I finally figured out the secret to achieving the perfect faux locks that would actually protect your hair. And it's actually really easy. It's just to do the knotless method on the braids that go underneath, so that when you wrap the hair around, it doesn't have as much tension on your scalp. Now, regardless, this style is still one that's pretty hard for the scalp if you're not used to getting your hair done. If you have a sensitive scalp, maybe it's best to get the crochet locks. The reason I didn't do crochet locks is because I wanted jumbo locks and I wanted it to have a very specific look that I just couldn't find. So I decided to do it individually. My scalp is a little sensitive right now, but it's already going away. It's much better than the day that I did it. The day that I did it, I'm not gonna lie to you, I had to walk with this. But I'm feeling much better, and in a week it should have relaxed completely and should be better for styling. But so far I like the way it looks. I just wanted to add that little disclaimer there, just in case. But if after listening to that you still want to know how to get faux locks, keep watching. I used about 7 packs of X-pression hair, about 4 packs of color 27, 3 packs of color 613. I already had this hair in stock, and also X-pression is much cheaper than coily hair, and you can use any color since it's going to be covered anyway. Then I used 10 packs of the Climax braids. In order to achieve the ombre effect, I used about 4 packs of color 1B/30, 4 packs of color 30, and 2 packs of color 27. Now it was just enough, so I would suggest purchasing about 3 additional packs, so make it about 13 to 14 packs of coily hair so that it's enough. Next, I proceeded to prep my hair. I will have a video up soon about exactly how I do that. Since I'm braiding my hair by myself, I like to section it first. It just makes life much easier. I'm just going to use my rat tooth comb and my elastic bands to secure the sections. My hair is stretched, and remember, these are jumbo faux locks, so I did about 15 sections in the back. They're huge, and then I did about 8 sections per each side of the front, so about 16 sections in total for the front. I am not going to be using the elastic band method. The elastic band was just there to secure my sections. So boom, I already did some of the back. My sisters didn't even help me, them useless humans. But anyway, let me show you how I did this braids. So I'm just going to remove the rubber band that I used to secure my section at the front. I'm going to be using the Let's Jam conditioner / gel for extra hold, and I'm just going to apply that to my hair and start the braid. Now for the knotless braid, I fed in the braids about 4 times using roughly over ½ inch of hair for each feed in, if you want to be strictly mathematical, you know. So let me show you how I braid in general, then I'm going to show you in detail for the next one. I'm just starting my braid without the additional hair, then I'm gonna add in my first feed in. Look at what I'm doing. Can you even tell what I'm trying to do? It will show you more in detail, I promise. Let's just watch. Then I just keep on adding the hair. Like I said, I added it about 4 times, but you are going to be the judge of that. You add it until you see the thickness that you're looking for. Now let me explain this part. It's important for you to wrap your hair in a secure manner, but also not too tight, because you need that extra space for when you start wrapping your hair so that it doesn't add extra unbearable tension to your hair, because you're going to be twisting when you're locking, so right? It's okay if there's a little bit of space, but do not be too loose with the way you're... On dit piqué en français, mon frère. God. Do not be too loose with the way you're grabbing your hair. There you go. Then I'm gonna braid my hair until my actual natural hair finishes, but I'm not gonna braid the hair till the end just because I'm gonna be wrapping it. So why would I go through that struggle for nothing, you know? Also, I'm trying to make sure that I keep my natural hair tucked into the braid, and you're going to see why much later. I could have had cleaner sections, but listen, I'm braiding myself. I'm a little blind. I'm legally blind, but I'm braiding myself, okay? Bite me. To achieve the ombre effect, I'm going to be using 3 strands of color 1B/30 at the top, 2 strands of color 30 mixed in with 1 strand of color 27 for the rest, and then some random 613 curly hair at the end to add a little zhuzh, you know? Then I'm just going to be using my crochet to add that hair in. and then we can start locking. I'm gonna start wrapping around the braid. Vous savez un peu comment on fait le fil au Cameroun? That's how I'm wrapping the braid. You want to be a little gentler at the top because that's just your natural hair coming out your scalp. But wrap carefully and then you just do that along the whole braid. For the ombre effect to seem a little more seamless, I add the next portion of the colors a little bit before the dark hair finishes. I secure it behind my thumb and I just keep wrapping. As I'm reaching the ends of the hair, the braid is super long and I need extra help, and this is where these luscious lips come in. Okay, I'm joking, please, I beg, I'm joking. As the braid starts thinning out, you also want to use a thinner section of the Marley hair. This is not what happened here. What happened, as I'm showing you, is I just had to add an extra strand. But in case you're still using 3 strands as the braid is thinning out, just tuck in 2 strands and then use 1 strand to continue wrapping around, the thinner it gets. Then I'm going to add in my curly hair at the end using the same method I used when I was adding extra hair to wrap. Then now it's time to tie off my braid. So I take a thin, very thin section of the coily hair. I wrap it around my finger 1 time, wrap it around the braid, and then come and send it into what I did to tie it off properly. I don't know if that's making sense. It is crucial that you tie with a very thin section because if you just take the whole Marley hair and tie it, it's going to unravel. I do this about 3 times and then I start wrapping what's left over of that hair back up the braid. And voila, so that's the faux loc, and I am going to just chop off the rest of the Marley hair from the ends and just have the curly ones hanging around. I had to pause to mention this. These are faux locs, jumbo faux locs at that. Please leave your edges alone. Leave them alone. If you put them in the braid, they might get ripped out. It might hurt. Please just leave them alone. These are your edges. Or you can slick it down, put some gel on it afterwards. Or you can just leave it like that, girl. That's your hair. But it's important for you to leave your edges alone for this style. Okay, now hopefully I can do a better job at explaining how I braid. Separate the hair into 3 sections. Then use these 3 fingers that I like to call my braiding fingers. I use my thumb, index, and middle fingers on both hands to braid. Then I'm gonna use my ring finger, right? My ring finger is used to hold the braid down to my head. Am I explaining this correctly? Eventually, I'm gonna have a video for how to braid for beginners, but for now, this is what we get. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing with my fingers. I'm trying to explain something here that I don't even know, but let's get started. I'm gonna use my thumb, index, and middle finger to hold 1 section of the hair, right? And I'm going to pass that section of the hair behind the middle section. And I'm going to be using my index to go and grab the other section of the hair. As you can see, keep in mind that the area between my middle finger and ring finger is tight enough and it's holding the braid down to my scalp. Do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to use my thumb, index, and middle finger to hold my hair down, then use my index finger to grab the other section of the hair while keeping my hair secured to my scalp. I know this is complicated. Please slow this video down and watch it as many times as you need to. So let's do this again. Now I'm gonna put the gem in my hair. I'm super tired. My arms have been raised. Braiding is a whole arm exercise. First of all, we all know this. All right. So, are you ready? Because this time we're going to be adding the feeding braid. So, I'm just going to use my thumb, index, and middle finger to grab 1 section of my hair. Then I'm going to use my index, send it behind the middle section to grab the other section of the hair. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Please keep in mind that you have to use your ring finger to keep the hair secure to your scalp. Once I've done this process once, I'm going to go in and then add the feeding braid. So I'm going to grab the hair like so. And the way I add it into my braid, I just hook it to my index and have it in between my index and my thumb while still securing it to my scalp. Then I just merge it to the hair sections that I've already divided and I just follow the braiding process that I showed you before. It's going to seem a little complicated at first, but I promise you the more you do it, the more you'll get the hang of it. Then you just follow this same process until you've added in all the hair you feel you need to add, which like I said before, was about 4 add-ins of a little over ½ an inch of hair per feed in. So here's how I add the hair when I'm done securing it to my scalp. I just hook it to one of the strands and try to merge it with the rest of what I'm doing. So over here, I'm going to do the same process, use my crochet, pull my kinky slash marley slash coily, whatever you want to call it, hair through. Then I'm just going to start wrapping. So can you see as I start wrapping how tight it gets around my scalp? So imagine if you had been braiding your hair already tightly. This would have been so painful and unbearable. So yeah, I mean, girl, I've been doing this for years. You can trust me. You can trust me. As I'm braiding, occasionally I'm just going to go over and just like untwist the braid a little bit when I feel like the pressure on my scalp is too much. So let me show you how I add my little curly hair to the end. I'm just going to send it behind my thumb like I did originally, just add it to the braid. I'm going to wrap all of it a few times around, and once I feel like the blonde has been securely wrapped, then I can let it hang, and I'm just going to use the marley hair to continue wrapping. That little section of blonde that's poking through does not bother me at all. It adds to the color effects of the hair. So yeah. Then I'm going to tie in the ends just like I showed you before. Now we gonna snip the hair, all the hair except the curly hair, because the curly hair is what we're trying to keep. Some people use hair glue at this point, which is a really good idea, but I didn't have any on hand, and with Corona, I can't just go to the store and grab it, so this is what we gonna get. Oh, we are finally done. Here I am trying to flex a little bit, but my scalp was like, if you don't stop moving right now before I end us both. So let me show you how I added my shell beads on my hair, and you guys are gonna troll me so hard for this, but in my defense, I've been using this for so long and I didn't know it was gonna be a whole thing, okay? So just listen. The reason I was tucking in my hair very well before I braided it was because I knew I was going to be using this glue on top. Now you still wanna make sure you only use this glue on the very surface layer of the lock. There are other methods, but because these are jumbo locks, it's hard to pull a shell through. You can use a wire, and I promise that I will use that method next time. I will update my method next time, but I didn't have a wire on hand right now. So I'm going to be using a shell that has a very open back just because it makes my life easier. I'm going to find the place where I want to put the shell, pull some hair from that, twist the hair so that it's stiff. Then I send the hair through the shell and pull it through. And the hair that comes out on the other side, that's the only strand that I'm going to be gluing down to the lock. Next, I'm going to apply the Gorilla Glue. Please, please, please be super careful with this. You know what? If you're not experienced, just use nail glue. Use nail glue. It might fall off after a few days, but it's much better than risking your hair, right? Just use nail glue. But if you know your way around locks, then you can try this glue, girl. And I'm just gonna hold it down so that it can do its job. And there you go. I'm just gonna test it. You see, it's very secure. My hair, it don't move. Shout out to Tessica Brown. I hope she's doing amazing right now. So let me show you what the hair looks like a little bit. In my head, I'm a model, so don't mind me while I'm doing my stuff. So that's it for the hair tutorial, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and go ahead and hit that little bell button that lets you know when I post a new video. Thank you so much for tuning in once again, and I will see you next time. Bye.